So finding a financial wellness program, and I pitched that to my firm, and they said, okay, go out and see what you can find. And so I did. I looked at a lot of different firms, and I had different criteria that I was looking at as far as what would be a successful program for us.
So you kind of ran like a little RFP, if you will, for a wellness platform.
Yes.
To leverage.
And dude, I'm like such a nerd when it comes to statistics and data and using all that stuff. So I was like, I had it all like spreadsheeted out.
Right.
But yeah, we found one, and once we adopted it in November of last year. So we just finished out a full year of it, and it has been life-changing. So it's been it's been life-changing for me, but it's also been life-changing for a lot of the people that we work with. So, that behavioral finance, that's a piece of it, but this program allows me to get to that meat very quickly. And that's what I love about it.
So kind of the velocity of those interactions accelerates, if you will.
Yes. And you can just take that and go in a lot of different directions with it.
So you chose WellSense as the platform provider. Mm-hmm. A lot of advisors listen to this podcast, and there's this kind of battle going on within the industry around, like, you've got there's a lot of frenemies going on right now. You got record keepers that want to get into the wellness space. You've got advisors who want to get into the wellness space and how they do it. The fact that you went through this process, talk a little bit about that, because I think that would be helpful for advisors that are listening that either are looking for a new platform or are looking to launch a wellness program. How do they do that? Like, what was the process that you went through? What were you looking for? And ultimately, why did you, what were I would say, kind of the best practices or the lessons you learned in choosing a platform partner? And then taking that a step further, you've had 12 months of kind of implementing the program. What are some of the learnings and lessons that you've taken away from that?
Yeah. So, I did an RFP, and I nailed it down to, or scaled it down to about 2. There's 2 finalists. And the one that I was leaning towards, I did a lot of research. I analyzed a lot of different things. I wanted something that was scalable. I wanted something that was, packaged as far as the content. Like, I'm always going to tweak because that's what we do. But I wanted something that was already established. I don't want to have to come up with marketing and branding and making sure all my presentations make sense. Like, I just need someone to do that for me, because that takes a great amount of time. So that was one. And then the other thing was, like, we have a great CRM, but it's been through some different teams of people over the years, and probably, it needs a little cleaning up, and we're kind of figuring that out. But I want to be able to use data to drive action. I feel like there's so many times, and you know this as well as I do, but it's like, I'd go up there, do an education session, and, I think I hit the mark. I feel like they, in that small group of people, they heard what I had to say, and I always would run a report afterwards, by the way. Again, data geek, but I'd run a report just to kind of see if there was any action
change leaving from that meeting.
Yeah, I always do that, because
so did you see like an uptake in participation or deferral rates, right, or people changing their investments or anything like that? Yeah,
I always pick like one nugget that I know I can easily look at the actions. So like, did they all increase their beneficiaries, whatever, or actually go in and put their beneficiaries? So I wanted something that had data. It was data driven, because that's the other piece of this. Like, you can talk to HR directors or HR teams that, as on the financial education side, about what they think their employees need. I think we can guess what we think people need, but I'll tell you, I walked into a meeting once. It was on estate planning. And so when you hear estate planning, you're thinking the demographic in the room is going to be an older age group, right? I walked into a room, and there was a little under 100 people in the room, and the majority of the faces I saw were in their 20s or 30s. And I was like, I had a panic attack, because I'm like, oh my God, I'm in the wrong session. Like, I prepared for the wrong session, right? That was my knee-jerk reaction. And I was like, okay, I'm going to wing this. And so, I did my introduction, and I said, I have to say, first of all, I'm impressed to see so many young faces here talking about estate planning, but now I'm genuinely curious. Why are you here? Like, and the majority of them said, because I have elderly parents that are, and they're not talking to me about it. So I just want to inform myself. So, you think what people need to hear and at what point in life they need to hear it. We don't know that. The data can show us, though.
Right.
And so I wanted something that was data driven. And so that was a piece of it.